Recording starting at 11:23 a.m. I've told this so many times now to so many different people that it's starting to sound unbelievable to myself. But I think you might actually be able to help me. So I'm sending you this in the hopes that you can. On a Thursday afternoon, a few weeks ago, I get a phone call. I'm in the middle of a conversation, so I answer the phone without even really looking at my screen. I've got no interest in who's actually calling. The plan is to get rid of them as soon as an opportunity arises, just so I'm not being rude. Hello. Turns out it's my mum. She doesn't say hi back, just kind of launches into whatever she has to say. I think I catch something in there about buying dog food, but I'm not really focused on any of the words that are coming down the phone. It just registers as kind of a stream of consciousness that I should be paying attention to. It's at this point in the phone call that I realize I'm staring, kind of like spacing out, not really paying attention, but it's for good reason. Despite the fact that I'm on a call with my mum, sat on the other side of the room in the armchair is my mum. And it has to be her because I've been at her house all morning, but there's also no doubt that she's on the other end of the phone too. It smiles at me, whatever this thing is, because I know now that it's not my mum. And on the phone, my real mum's trying to get my attention, but I can't tear my eyes away from this thing. And I'm suddenly aware that I don't want it to know that I've figured out that it's not who it's trying to be. My hands grip the phone tighter and I smile back. Try to keep my tone light so as not to arouse suspicion. I'm going to have to call you back later. I hang up and the smile gets wider. And if I had any doubts about whether or not this thing was inhuman, then the stretch of its lips and teeth get rid of those doubts immediately. I get to my feet, making my excuses about having to leave, and it stands too. It's taller suddenly, and every time I blink, something about it changes, takes it further away from what I know my mum looks like until I can't even recognize her in it anymore. And then it's gone. From one blink of my eyes to the next, like it had never been there. But I know it was there. The seat where it was sitting was still warm and I could smell it in the air. Whatever it was, this fetid stench that burned in my nostrils. People don't believe me. And I'm starting to think that maybe I did imagine it. Maybe it was a psychosis or a hallucination or something like that. I remember I even checked my phone after, and it was like the call had never happened. The call wasn't even there. Like no time had passed. I haven't seen my mum in weeks. And I'm too scared to go to her house to check on her. I'm too scared to even leave my flat in case it's out there waiting for me. And I was just hoping that maybe you could help me. I really hope that you can help me. Recording ended at 11:23 a.m.